Say good morning. My name is Queen Olivia, and I'm enjoying my new foster home until I can be adopted. Happy New Year, everyone! This is the first video that we're making for 2023, and I thought the best way to start out the new year is to introduce you to our first foster dog. Her name is Queen Olivia. We had a really rough time after Jefe passed away, and October of 2022 was the 1 year anniversary of his passing. And at that point, we felt like it was time to get another dog. We didn't want to get our own dog yet because we have this big trip on the boat to the Bahamas planned, and we really weren't ready to take the dog with us on that trip. And the foster program is really great because shelters are full, and if you foster the dog in your house, then it allows other dogs to be taken inside the shelter to create more room for them. And also, sometimes foster dogs just need a little bit of extra attention. And of course, they love being in a house with extra love. The shelter does a great job, but being in a home, I think, would be really great for most dogs until they could get adopted. So Chuck wasn't sold on the idea at first because he was worried we would get attached to her. And of course, we are super attached to her. But I know it's temporary, so I feel like that's making a little bit easier. And I really hope that we find her a great place so that she gets adopted into her forever home. Before we leave for the Bahamas and we don't have to return her to the shelter. That will make it more difficult if we have to take her back to the shelter. But she has been an excellent dog. She's a sweetheart, and so far we've really enjoyed having her. Shelters are full, so if you've never heard of fostering a dog, then I think it's a good chance to check that out. So nice to come home to a dog instead of an empty house, and they're just so excited. After I filled out the application to foster right before Thanksgiving, every day Chuck was like, when are we getting a dog? When are we getting a dog? So he was just super excited, just like I was. It took a little bit of time, probably because of the holidays. So it was about a week after Thanksgiving when we got the call to come to the shelter and get our new foster dog. We didn't sleep much the night before because we were super excited about picking her up, and also I was nervous if she would like us. We had no idea what she looked like until we got to the shelter the next morning. And we learned she was 9 years old. She'd had a lot of puppies, so she kind of had a rough life. And she was just a little sweetheart. She was spayed the day before we got her, so she was still under some of the anesthesia and it was wearing off. So it took both of us to get her into the car. And then when we got home, they had told us at the shelter she drank a lot of water and it would be fine, it was normal. But she drank 4 or 5 huge bowls of water that first day and overnight. So it was a little bit rough adjusting because every 2 hours we had to take her out to go to the bathroom. So it was a really long night, but the next morning the first thing we did was show her how to use the doggy door. And she maybe had used one before, I don't know, but she was super smart and she caught on to it right away. After that, she just wagged her tail like nonstop for the next hour, and she explored every square inch inside and outside the house. And then gradually we adjusted to a new routine. Queen Olivia, it's bedtime. You gotta get your eye stuff done. You gotta wake up. Come on. I don't know why I talk to her. She can't hear me. Hello? Come on. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you're a happy girl. Wagging that little tail. Does her little doggy stretch. And then she's ready for breakfast. She's eating her breakfast. And she is curled up back in a ball in her bed. So she likes to sleep a lot of times in her bed in the morning until lunchtime or later in the morning. Look, I'm making your picture. Keep chewing. What are you doing? That's a good girl. That's so cute. You got a big chunk off, didn't you? She's good with her little feet holding on to it. Alright, so our pantry door we have to keep shut because she would come and I would put over our cast iron skillets these paper towels, and they get a little bit of olive oil on them, so she would come and she would eat them. And then we heard her in here one night, and you could just hear this clicking, and it was just like that. And she figured out how to unlatch her food, and she'd stick her head in. In fact, you can see the indentation. She'd stick her head in, grab a mouthful, come out and eat it, and the thing would click back down. So we've learned now she can get into her food, so we have to be extra careful. Okay, go this way. We're gonna go that way. This way. That way. This way. See what happened, Missy? Oh, are you done? Are you done? Do you know I'm making your picture? Do you know I'm making your picture? Uh-huh. Their little girl. Missy, you're getting sunburn again. You are getting sunburnt again. Would you like to eat, Din Din? So, this is another new thing we have never seen before. A feeding bowl that slows them down when they eat. And so they have to like eat around these hard objects, which makes it a little bit trickier and slows them down when they eat. And she's always hungry, so it's good to slow her down a little bit so she doesn't get bloated. But she's gotten really good at figuring it out, especially because she can't see very well. She's gotten real good at figuring out where her food is because she obviously can smell good. And yeah, so she pretty much cleans her bowl now. She used to leave a few behind, but now she's doing really good. Are you barking, Olivia? What's she doing? Do you know you're barking?
So I will be without the van for about 4.5 days, I'm guessing, is how long it's going to take for them to fix everything. And
These little pill pouches are really good. Chuck and I never heard of them, but it's just a little treat, and it's got a hole in through the middle, and you put the pill into it. This is a pretty big pill, but it's real squeezable and moldy. And then you just give it to the dog. Can you smell? Can you smell? Say, I'm take my medicine. Good girl. Good girl. That was good, right? Yeah. Say, I love treats. It's spa day for Olivia. Chuck's trying to bounce her bone into the bathroom so we can get her in there.
Hey.
Hey, what's up with that? I think she's on to us. All right.
There we go.
I don't know why you're shaking. You're not even wet at all. She doesn't like spa day, but she's super feisty afterwards. Our other dog, Jefe, had a skin issue, so we had to take him to a special vet dermatologist who we absolutely love. And he recommends a certain shampoo, which we decided to use on Queen Olivia. And it has a little bit of smell to it, so we do try to cover that up some later on. But our vet dermatologist also said that the shampoo dries out the dog's skin, so you need to keep them moisturized. And he recommended using Neutrogena oil mixed with water 50-50 in a spray bottle, and you spray them when they're slightly wet still, and that helps moisturize their skin. She is like a cat licking herself all the time, and it's not good for her to lick it. So I only put it on her back where her fur is and she can't reach it. I'll put some more tips from the vet dermatologist down below. But it's not spa day unless you also have pet cologne, which we had never heard of before. And we found that this stuff has a very subtle baby powder smell. So once she's dry, we spray that again just on her back so that she can't lick it off. And it works really well. We have adventured outside the house with Queen Olivia, and she's done very well. We've gone to a few restaurants for lunch, and she has absolutely loved all of the people and the attention that she gets from everyone. We've taken her to the boat, and she did pretty good there. She just doesn't seem to like it as much as our other dog did for sure. I think it's just still an adjustment for her. We've taken her in the van to a winery and to lunch on the way there too, and she did really good riding in the van. Olivia's doing good. Got her tied up over here. She's been sleeping some. I think she's probably gonna sleep really good tonight. Jessica at Friends of Strays picked up Queen Olivia to take her to downtown St. Petersburg to Pinellas Ale Works, a local brewery nicknamed Paws for short. It's a dog-themed brewery, and they have all kinds of beers named after dogs. They have a huge gated back patio. Dogs are allowed inside and outside. But what they do is they host something called the Yappy Hour, and that goes to benefit the shelters, and they have dogs for adoption. And Queen Olivia really enjoyed her time there. She gave out a lot of kisses, and she ate a lot of treats, and she did really good with people and kids. We have some big plans for 2023. First on the list is getting Queen Olivia adopted before we go on our boat trip. Then we're taking our boat, the doghouse, to the Bahamas. It's going to be an epic adventure, so we have a new camera and our first drone in order to take you along. After we return, we will be doing a short cruise on Virgin Voyages. After boat life ends, we're switching to van life. We're going to drive our Mercedes Sprinter van that we built out last year across the country out west. We will be driving the $1 Million Highway in Colorado, hopefully fly fishing in the Snake River in Idaho for the first time. And the main goal is checking out the parks in Utah, which we've heard are amazing. Then we'll go to Arizona before heading back to Florida. Of course, along the way, we'll be looking for some great food. Chuck obviously has his eye on a bunch of breweries to find the best IPA. So please like, subscribe, and share so that we can help Queen Olivia find her forever home before we head out on our adventures.